guys, it's Cash and it's story time. So, my last video that I made, I compared my life in Miami to that of the documentary of Tiger King. So, while the people that I was dealing with, the extreme personalities that I was dealing with, were not zookeepers, they were authority figures, policemen, lawyers, things of that nature. So I noticed that there was some element of stalking going on with me. I just didn't know who was doing it. I didn't know to what extent. I didn't know why it was being done. And during this specific time, I think it was in the beginning of 2018, that's when I had gotten into the whole lawsuits with my ex. So that is what made me believe that it was this specific individual instead of actually what it was, police, authority figures, and things of that nature. So I go to see this lawyer, and he's going to charge me this obscene amount of money for a maybe. I said, you know, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be for sure, like no contact, whatever. And he was just kind of a little bit condescending to me in a way, I felt. We were going through Facebook and like all of our means of electronic communications and stuff, and he was like looking at my Facebook picture and looking at me and looking at my Facebook and looking at me, and I just kind of got this vibe that he was like trying to tell me without saying that I didn't look anything like my Facebook pictures. Sorry, I'm kind of going through some things here, sir. So I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that whole interaction that I got with this dude. So I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna drop it and go on with my life. So as I was leaving this man's office, the lawyer that did my business contracts, walks in to the office. Now, it's not like they were like right next to each other. It's not like I got a referral from this guy to go see this guy, nothing like that. This guy was in a different part of Miami, and this guy was where I used to live, right next to where I used to live actually, which was about 20-30 minutes away. So for this whole coincidental thing to happen really didn't make sense to me. But that's when I started to notice an escalation in problems, was after I went to go see this lawyer. But as the problems escalated, so did my work, so did my revenue. And I kind of got into a mode and a habit of creating problems surrounding that situation, because in that time period I didn't know what was going on and how it was working out, but it seemed like the more problems and the more chaos that was happening, the more work was coming out of it. And you know, it is what it is, and it was something that was benefiting me and the people around me. So at first, in the beginning of the 3 years, I just, you know, rolled with the punches. And somebody accused me even of using the plight of a TI and using this stuff to my advantage. In the beginning, that was not the case at all. I was using it as a means to heal myself. There were things that were happening that were still triggering me. So I was using this as a means to heal myself. But towards the end of my stay there, it became unattainable because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. It was no longer about my healing, but about the money and, you know, what can I do next to get these people to book us and use what I'm saying on my Instagram to harass me, you know? So I kind of got like the whole gist of how it was working. I just didn't know really from where. So yeah, so, and then on top of that, with cops, and there would be cops outside, just sitting outside my house all day. I couldn't even go out to lunch with people. I was at lunch with a girlfriend of mine, and I was eating, and then this cop pulls up, turns his lights on, like, not with the siren on, but the lights on, and then not the flashers, but like headlights, so right across from me, as a means to like, we're watching you. So that was something that happened. And I told you about the dead iguanas and the dead rats and the things of like that. And then, not to mention, on top of that, I was dealing with people from different agencies. You know, I got, oh, I'm a nationwide company, people like that, and then I'm the queen bee, you know, like, I was just getting it from all ends of the spectrum. It was just coming down on me. So, and I was like, I really don't care about any of this. And these people, like, and this is something that I didn't understand too, because my prices were higher than some of these people. And, like, I was getting, they were telling me to lower my prices. My prices are too high, you know, you need to cut your prices down. I'm like, what do you have to do with anything that I'm doing over here? If you don't like my prices, then go away. You know, I didn't get into this business for a group project. Like, this is my single solitary thing. And as time went on, it just seemed to be, it was like more like they were trying to monopolize me, you know, get control over me any way they could. And that's why I thought that it was the other agents, but it was the police and things like that. So you could say, oh, you're stupid. Like, if you knew that situation was like that, why would you stay in a situation like that? You know, a lot of people question that, and that's why they don't really believe that this happened, because most normal people, if they were in a situation like this, would probably leave that situation right away. But something that I learned from coming back home is that my emotional tolerance, my emotional pain tolerance, is extremely, colossally high. So whereas most people would have been like, forget this, I was like, it was a game to me at first, to be honest. And then it just got to a point where the trip to Cuba, I was just like, you know what, is this even worth it anymore? Like, it was just really getting to the point where it was really draining. So I lived in Miami for 4 years, and then 3 years I dealt with this craziness. So 3 years of non-stop emotional abuse, drama, craziness, like intimidation, harassment, stalking, you name it, I went through it there. But yeah, I mean, a part of me misses Miami, but another part of me knows that I made the right decision in leaving. Miami is a very transient place. It's not really a place for someone to be living and trying to better themselves. It's more of a place like for somebody with a lot of money to go and live, instead of trying to create something and better yourself there. It's a very hard thing to do because it is such a toxic environment. There's just a lot of things that you can fall into that are very detrimental. So, with that said, that's all I have to say. So please like, subscribe, questions, comments, concerns, and as always, God bless.